Hello, loves. So this is Black Kitten 069, aka Model Natasha. I know it's been a while, but I've been really busy, kind of, you know, doing things to cover my bills. And this topic is something that I've been wanting to do for quite some time, especially, you know, since have a teenager now. So before I get into this topic, my disclaimer is I no way, shape, or form do promote pedophilism. I no way, shape, or form promote incest. I believe in true sex education, real sex education, not trying to ignore that our children are, once they get a certain age, they don't go through the same things hormonally. I believe a child should be able to talk to you and, express to you things that are going on with them, their bodies, and etc. So I'd rather my child come to me, my children come to me, and tell me things about themselves and what's going on with their bodies rather than they go out there and a stranger tell them, or that they go out there and accidentally get someone pregnant, or they go out there and experiment and or be experimented on or be lured and end up missing. So without further ado, let's get into this topic, okay? So as I stated, I do have a teenager now. And so there's certain things, him being a teenager that, he's still very shy. My son is very shy and very humble. He doesn't really like to talk about himself, but I do, we every now and again will have a little powwow and we'll talk about certain things. And I can really tell you from just me as being where his shoes was and a lot younger, I knew, you know, I knew that something, I'm not going to say strange or mental, which people who are judgmental might say it. I knew there was something different about me. I knew that I required or desired certain things, and I experimented. And, for a long time I thought that that I was crazy, or because I had no one to talk to. I had no outside input or anything like that. I can say that Freud is right that once a child becomes sexually aware at their very young age, and once they become sexually aware, they also become kinkily aware. In the lifestyle, I've talked to several people who have had different fetishes when they was really young, like school age, like elementary school, where a man who may grow up in like CBT, would have that one encounter where a girl kick him in his lower, and then he would then annoy that girl and continue getting kicked. Or there were people who are cross-dressers. They do sometimes have stories of where they, would wear their mother's clothing, or their mother's pantyhose, or etc. And especially now, since we're in a generation where we're not really trying to make our children, some parents are still idiots, and they're trying to make their children fit into a male or female role. And while other parents who are smarter are not trying to do that, they're not trying to force their children into any kind of specific gender. They're allowing their children to, be themselves, whatever their selves they think they are. Like recently, like now, since I have a teen, I don't even I make him fill out a lot of his paperwork. Like when we go to the doctor and stuff, I don't, especially, or if I need to pull out the paperwork and then they ask his gender, I actually give the pad to him. I don't even look at it. I don't, I don't try to put him into anything. He likes certain things that may look or sense like they're feminine. And I don't, discourage him either one way or another. So, what I'm going to do after this video is I'm going to have like an interview with him and for you guys. And so we're going to talk about, certain things. We're going to have like, I'm going to record one of our powwows and about, him growing up around the about growing up around the lifestyle, or me having hosting company in the home, how him knowing that he does know that I have toys and stuff like that. He does see those things, and because they're in my closet or whatever. And so he does know about these things. It's like he's grown up around it, and pretty much, about his own viewpoint and these things. What else is there? I was going to say. So I think that's pretty much it about the Freud situation. Um, you know, and again, I don't promote. I have to say it again. I do not promote pedophilism, and I do not promote incest at all. So I have had, in the lifestyle with my oldest son, I have had, people accuse me because I had a coming out party for him. I think I did state that on a previous vlog. And it was not true. It was, my son had already experimented with a stranger and, had a dame before I actually came out into the lifestyle. Now, I have always been kind of like a dame before I actually came out and closeted. Majority of my male counterparts have been very submissive, but it wasn't to the point where I totally embraced it. I was still skeptical. I still thought there was something wrong with me, and so therefore, I didn't really embrace it until basically my back was up against the wall, and that's when I embraced it. I was going through a hard time in my life, and BDSM saved me. Yep, it saved me, because if I had not found BDSM community, or if I had not embraced that part of myself, I don't know where I would have been at this particular time. And that's 100%, like, I'm getting emotional of how BDSM community saved me from despair. And I found BDSM where I really had, see, I'm about to cry. I found the BDSM community when I really had, I was really low. And I really didn't know how I can go on, but I'm taking this away from what this video was supposed to be about. But it kind of all ties together, because it had to do with my son, and it had to do with not even knowing if I was going to ever have him in my have him, or be his mother, or given the opportunity. I had birthed him, but I didn't know if I was going to be able to ever have him in my home, in my arms, see him grow up. And it was hell. And the BDSM community, when I found it, a lot of the frustration that I was going through at that time, and a lot of the heartaches that I felt, and it all, I'm sorry, it all unfolded in a dungeon. That was my outlet. That was my place to to release it all. I, I had so many other people who was in my shoes. They one either surrendered completely to the system, or they became mentally unstable where they was hospitalized and therefore losing the war, or they, I'm sorry, or they some people even took their own lives. But me, I found an outlet that where I could scream, and I was able to scream loudly and boldly and truthfully and be me 100%. So, and which kind of goes back to this video. It's at 11 minutes. I didn't mean for it to go this long. So you don't never want to put your children in this environment that we were in, where they can't be themselves. And so this is part 1 of growing up kinky. Be kind to yourself. Be true to yourself. Love yourself. Forgive yourself. Forgive others. And always make the most of your day. What is your day 1? Keep it classy. Keep it sexy. And always, always keep it kinky. Take care, loves. Next time you see me, you'll see my little guest. Okay? Because y'all haven't really seen him since he was, a baby? When we were singing together. So, he wasn't a baby, but he was still very young. So, you'll see my guest. I'll have my special guest, and you'll see us have an interactive live. I do have an interactive with us on Facebook, and he kind of gets very edgy. So I did ask him about this. I did get his consent before y'all start jumping. I did get his consent, and he did agree. Okay? So we're going to sit down like mother and son, and we're going to have an open discussion for you guys. Okay? Take care. Bye.